Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Comic Book Nostalgia. I'm CB Nostalgia and I got a little update on Daredevil in She-Hulk. Well, in case you didn't know, and you probably should, Daredevil is returning to the MCU once again, this time in costume in the She-Hulk. We've been hearing rumors for months that Charlie Cox is returning to the iconic role, and after he made that short appearance in Spider-Man No Way Home, fans have been anticipating the first time we're finally going to get to see the character. Now, when we got the very first trailer for She-Hulk, we found out one of the rumors was confirmed to be true, and it turns out he is indeed wearing the classic yellow Daredevil costume. Now, this costume goes way back to the early days of the character, and might be indicative of some of Marvel's plans for using the costume. It turns out She-Hulk showrunner Jessica Gao was mandated by Marvel Studios to use that specific costume. Now, she talked about this just a little bit with Lifehacker recently, and this is what she had to say. When we were first told that Daredevil was a possibility, we just couldn't believe it. And we were coming up with story and what we wanted him to do. The fact that they kept not saying no was shocking us. The one thing they did have control of was the suit. They knew exactly what they wanted the suit to look like. Now, when you listen to that statement, it suggests to me there's a very specific reason why they're using the yellow suit. And I think there's some pretty good reasons once you start breaking it down. Now, first and foremost, as many of you should know, Charlie Cox played Matt Murdock on the Netflix series for 3 seasons. He actually had 2 different costumes on that show, one a classic black cloth costume, and of course, the full-on red Daredevil suit which we saw in Season 2 and parts of Season 3. It's very possible that Marvel Studios is doubling down on the fact that this is a different series, and more importantly, this version of Matt Murdock is a variant of that series. Now, I think everything from the Netflix series is going to be like canon. When it works, they're going to use it, but when it's not, they just kind of will cast it away. Now, the full-on canonical status of where Daredevil and everything fits into the MCU is still a bit of a mystery. Many fans are very strongly opinionated on this. But I will say, the use of the yellow costume, given the history of Daredevil, kind of suggests to me that there's a strong possibility that the MCU version of Matt Murdock is indeed very early in his superhero career. Now, the big questions come when we start seeing Matt Murdock once again. He is making an appearance in Echo. We're hearing 3 or 4 episodes there, and then obviously in Daredevil Born Again, which is a full-on 18 episodes and leaves plenty of time for costume variations. Now, personally, I love Daredevil's variations in costumes over the years. He has not only had the yellow and red costume, but gone with variations of all black, black and red, and multiple variations of his classic red or crimson costume. I think this will be, like we were saying, one of those delineators for the character moving forward, and one way Marvel Studios can make him unique. The main thing I think we should be asking ourselves here is, with the other Defenders characters possibly coming into the MCU, what kind of classic comic book variations we could see, and how Marvel Studios might actually embrace that to differentiate them from the Netflix counterparts. Now, we do know we're getting a bit of a different version of Matt Murdock in this show, but Gal did go on to say in that same Lifehacker interview that we really shouldn't be too worried. She said during the interview, because we have specific tone, we're able to pull these characters like Daredevil, like Abomination, like Wong, who normally you've seen in very dramatic, very heavy, very serious projects, and bring them into a world, letting them kind of play around in She-Hulk's tone. So that it's not completely changing the character, but you get to see a different side of them. Now, I have to say, this does make a lot of sense, and if you watch Daredevil, Matt joked a lot. As a matter of fact, when they met Karen Page, he actually opened that whole conversation with the "how long have you been a lawyer" joke, so I don't see why people are too worried about this aspect of the character. The first episode of She-Hulk kept the tone pretty serious when they needed to, and then let the jokes land where they worked. I suspect they'll do the same thing with Daredevil. Now, obviously, we're going to cover everything Daredevil moving forward. We're going to see him in She-Hulk, we're going to see him in Echo, and then we're going to get almost all we can take in 18 episodes of Daredevil Born Again. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe button to get all of your Daredevil updates. But until we know more, what do you guys think? How do you feel about Daredevil using the yellow suit in the upcoming She-Hulk series? And do you think Matt Murdock using the yellow suit indicates he might be very early in his career? Tell me what you think in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure you hit like, click subscribe, and if you don't ring that bell, you won't get any updates. Peace.